We usually think of video as this, physical thing. You plug cable A into port B.
Mm.
But what happens when video stops being a dedicated signal and just becomes another packet on the network?
That's the fundamental shift to AV over IP, isn't it? You stop worrying about how long your HDMI cable is and start treating video just like email or any other web traffic.
You're moving the whole discipline from AV into IT,
Well,
basically.
exactly.
Which brings us to the hardware we're looking at today, the key digital KD-IP922ENC-II. Now, it
Oh.
claims to be that bridge, but let's be real, pushing 4K video over a network, that's not magic. It's heavy.
Oh, it's very heavy.
If I just start dumping 4K streams onto my corporate network, isn't the IT manager going to have a complete heart attack?
100%. Yes, if you're not careful, absolutely. We're talking about almost a full gigabit of bandwidth for every single stream.
Wow.
So your network design suddenly matters way more than what kind of cable you're using. You need a managed switch that can direct that traffic. Otherwise, yeah, you'll just grind everything to a halt.
Okay, but the trade-off for eating all that bandwidth is the quality, right? The spec sheet here highlights 4.4.4 chroma.
It does.
We see that number thrown around, but usually streaming devices, they kind of compress that to save space.
They do, and that's essentially throwing away color information. It's fine for a movie, but if you put an Excel spreadsheet or like a CAD drawing on a screen with low chroma,
Oh, the text gets fuzzy.
the text gets fuzzy, the lines start to bleed. This keeps all that color data intact. It's critical for places where detail is everything.
Okay, so the picture is perfect, but in a real building, you never have all new screens. Say I have a 4K projector in the main hall, but an old 1080p monitor in the lobby. Does the whole system have to dumb itself down?
That's the classic lowest common denominator problem. But this system has independent downscaling.
The encoder just sends out the one big 4K stream.
Exactly. And the little decoder box at the lobby monitor is smart enough to convert it to 1080p or 720p right there. The main projector never even knows. It stays at a perfect 4K.
That's a really useful feature. Now, I want to jump to the thing that actually surprised me. The video wall support. It says it scales up to 16 by 16.
A grid of 256 displays, yeah.
That's the size of a tennis court. I mean, usually a wall that big needs a massive, incredibly expensive processor in a server room somewhere just to chop up the image.
Right, and that's the aha moment here. This system decentralizes that brain.
So there is no single point of failure.
Well, not in the same way. Instead of one giant processor, every encoder and decoder handles its own little piece of the puzzle. You're not limited by slots in a box, you just add more ports to your network switch.
But a wall that big,
Mm.
you can't just plug a mouse into the side of it. How do you control a computer if it's 300 feet away in a rack?
It's got USB 2.0 routing built in, so it acts as a KVM extender keyboard, video, mouse. Your PC is safe in the server room, but you're controlling it from the display with almost no latency.
Okay, what about audio? Am I running separate audio cables to all my amplifiers?
Nope. It has Audio-D embedding.
Through those Phoenix terminals, the little green blocks you have to screw the wires into.
Yes, captive screw connectors. They're rock solid for permanent installs, much better than a flimsy headphone jack that someone could yank out. You just pull the audio right off the network feed.
That makes sense.
Ah.
Okay, reliability. This stuff often ends up in a ceiling or behind a super heavy display. The last thing I want is to climb a ladder because a little power brick died.
You shouldn't have to. It supports Power over Ethernet, PoE.
So the network cable provides the power.
If your switch can handle it, yep. It makes for a very clean one-cable install.
And what if the switch has an issue?
Well, for mission-critical stuff, you can actually create redundancy. You can use the PoE and plug in a standard power supply at the same time as a backup.
Ah, okay. So it really feels like devices like this are taking the AV guy out of the equation and handing the keys over to the IT department.
It's a convergence. When your walls become screens and your screens are just network endpoints, it completely changes how you design a building.
You're not wiring a room for video anymore.
You're just wiring it for data.
A fascinating shift to watch. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.